Hello. So I came home today and I was checking out my thermostat here and I found out a problem. Let me show you what it's doing. So I zoom in here so you can see it, and basically, as you can see, all the screen's gone, and it's got on the bottom there, it's got these little squares, but that's like on the glass, and it's supposed to, you know, have all the display and everything from it. And this is a Honeywell, and so I thought I figured out what's wrong with this, but I'll kind of go through the steps because this is how I found it. And I was like, oh man, my heater went out. Now what am I going to do? It's getting cold. It's in the winter. So I thought I'd go through the steps I used to troubleshoot this out. So the first thing I did was I pulled it off the wall. And I'll show you that here. And even after even after having it off the wall, that's a better picture of kind of what the screen looks like. And I looked at the back here, and I thought, oh, it's got batteries. The batteries must be low because, you know, I took it off the wall. I figured the batteries would still show the display. So I put in these brand new batteries. It didn't work. I used a little voltmeter, made sure they all like 1.5. They're all brand new, they were working, so it wasn't the batteries. And so what I was thinking, well, now my thermostat's probably bad because, you know, I'm not getting anything and it's got brand new batteries in it. So, but I'm not 100% sure how this works. So next, we got to deal with the actual wiring to the furnace. Let me take a look at that for you. Okay, hopefully this will show up on camera well. So here I'll go through the colors. Going from the top to the bottom, you have red, and then it kind of like skips, and then it goes to white, yellow, I believe green and blue. It's kind of hard to tell. And on the, let's see if I can get my finger in here. Now I'm going to come in over on this side and show you what it says on the posts. So right there it's got an RC and an R, and you can think of those R for red, and sure enough the red's on that side. And there's a jumper right there that connects the RC and the R. I found out through some research that the RC means the kind of like the cooling side of the heat, and the R's be like the high side, but very few systems have two, I guess you call it relays for that, or two needs for that, so that almost all of them are jumpered. And if you count this, there's going to be, counting the colored wires, as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so you can refer to this as a 5-wire system. Next we have, you can see the Y there, and that's for yellow, and then the G is for green, and then the blue, they just put C for common. And so let me do a little bit more explanation of what these colored wires mean. Okay, I got my cheat sheet, so I'll kind of zoom in and explain this. So at the top, the red is basically going to be 24 volts. You think of red as your power. Then you have the white. I guess you could think of white hot. So the white's going to be your heater. Then you have yellow, and that's going to be your cooling. And then you're going to have green, and that's going to be your fan. And then the bottom one is usually blue, is your common. So let's just take out the top red one and the bottom blue one, or the 24 volts power red and the common blue. And then we're just going to deal with the 3 wires, the white one, the yellow one, and the green one. Each one of those are relays. And again, the white one's for heat, the yellow one's for air conditioning, and the green one is for the fan. So at this point, I wanted to see if my heater slash air conditioner, mostly concerned about the heat because it's cold, was working. So I got a little jumper wire. Now this is only 24 volts DC. You should always be careful around electricity, but compared to your wall socket of 110 around that for AC, this 24 volts, and I believe it's DC, should be pretty safe to work with. So knowing that for instance, I'm going to just try to activate manually the relay to the fan, and if I hear the fan come on, then we know that the system's working good. I didn't want to really fire up the furnace or the AC because that involves quite a bit, but the fan should be pretty quick. So I'm just going to run a jumper from the red wire to the green wire and see what happens, and you should probably hear the fan kick on. So I don't know if you could hear that or not, and I was being cautious. One thing you should do is, if you saw me there, I tried to use only one hand when actually activating the circuit. That's a safety thing. So if it is a lot of current flowing through, the theory is you'll only hurt your hand, to where if you use two hands, the electricity might travel from one hand out the other and go through your heart, which would be bad. So this is a little safety tip. Try to use one hand when doing that. So I hope you could hear that, but I could, and the fan activated. So what that told me was basically the chances of the rest of the circuit being okay as far as heating and cooling is pretty high. So that again led me to look at my thermostat. Also I want to show you, well, let me show you something on the thermostat. You know, this is the back of the thermostat, and it's got these little pins. I don't know if they're showing up very good. Let me turn it at an angle. There, you can see it better. Those little pins, and they plug in. Sorry about that. They plug into the outer sides. Now this side over here doesn't have any wiring to it, so it's just kind of there. This side's got all the action going on it. So on this, sorry about that. So basically that's how this goes on. So making sure my batteries are all incorrect, I'm just going to plug this back in. Now if you'll notice, the pins sit kind of in the center. So I plugged it in pretty hard, and it's on there good, and it feels like it's on there where it should be. But if you remember, those pins are kind of like in the center, and I don't like pushing on the glass, but that's what I end up having to do. And so it's pretty hard, and this is what's scary, because I'm gonna push on the glass. You know, you kind of don't want to break the glass, but I know from experience this is what's going on. And now I gotta get the darn thing working. But I'm gonna pause the camera there and see if I can seat it, because I don't want to crack that glass, and that's the scary part of all this. Okay, so finally got it in, and actually in this time I didn't have to push the glass too hard. What I did is I kind of rocked it in. I put in this side first, put in the other, and kept playing around with it, and I finally did get it to come on. But it's kind of weird that it's that hard. And so I think it's just where those pins are making connections. There's probably just one pin, and it's probably that blue one, just doesn't want to get in there. And I think over time, as this thing heats up and expands, materials expand and contract as they heat up, they expand, as they contract, they shrink down, and that can actually cause what they call creep or movement. And it probably just over time worked its way out enough to where it disconnected. So anyways, so I'm not gonna do it again, because if I pull it off it stays on for just a little bit. But anyway, so hopefully this video helps somebody out that's having this problem, and you can see how I troubleshooted it out and got it working again. Again, this time I didn't have to press too hard in the center like I did the first time. It's more of rocking it on the edges. But anyways, so that's what it is. I hope this video helps somebody out there that's struggling trying to get their heater working again. And turned out to be not anything. And if you would have called a service man out to figure this out, they probably would have just not even messed around, sold you a new thermostat, and them charged you a service call on top of that. Anyways, I hope this, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and if this helps you out, you know, give me a thumbs up. If you subscribe, you'll see more videos as they come out. Thank you for watching.